Hello, Board. Dr. Cleveland. I've got a construction update. I don't have any photos this time.
No photos.
I know. Yeah, the weather.
Parking lot.
Yeah, the weather didn't make good photos.
We went by Central today, though, and on the way in, back in, and it looked good.
Yeah. So even though we had bad weather, I mean, we did work on construction last week, along with some snow and ice. So at Central, they're standing the steel in area C and D, which area C is the gym area and the CTE spaces. Area D is office and sped areas. So they're putting that in right now. They're adding the tapping sleeve for the new 8-inch water line. They have finished all the courtyard storm drains and started the storm drains on the east side of that project. The plumbers are working on getting the sewer lines out of that building to the city connection. The electricians have been digging the main feed for that building, digging those lines in, getting the conduits in place to have the primary power for that project. Next week, they'll tap the new water line and they'll start setting the T's out and the new hydrants on that property. And then they're gonna continue to stand steel in area C and D. And then they'll continue to work on those storm drains. And that was at Central. And then we also worked, we're actually working on the AV plans for that project and the floor layout for the striping on the gym floor and the auxiliary gym. So we continue to work ahead of the progress that they're at, you know. At Southwest, they had the same issues. We didn't get a lot of work done, you know, in the planning phases. So they have been installing the sanitary sewer lines. They're getting ready for the new water meter, new fire hydrant. They're doing they're getting ready to start the final grading around the field house. As soon as it dries up a little bit, weather lets them. In the field house, they did make a lot of progress. They've got all the mechanicals complete above ceiling, and they've got that inspection completed and passed. They're gonna start installing the sheetrock ceilings in there. They've got all the interior walls primed. And then as soon as the weather allows them, they'll start installing the brick on that field house. On the main building, they're standing steel in area A and B, which that's the gym area and then the cafeteria and library area of that building. And it actually has some decking going into place on that section of steel. They've got one section of the learning stairs steel completed, so they'll be steel and then they'll pour concrete in on them. And then so next week, they will start area C and D, actually at the end of this week, as long as the weather permits. And that's the classroom section of the building, and then the CTEs, agri, and everything's on the very end. So they'll start that. And then they're planning on pouring the elevator slab and then a section of the auxiliary gym floor that they had to leave out so they could get a crane in there to set that steel. So by the end of the week, hopefully we'll be pouring that on that job. At Springdale High, they did get some concrete poured on the inside of the competition gym. They've got the footings poured inside the competition gym and outside around the auxiliary gym. They've put up all the masonry walls inside the competition gym, and those will actually go up to the second floor for that area where you'll be able to walk around the gym. And they've got all the mechanicals roughed into those walls. They've started putting decking on. They were actually working on it today. And then they're starting to install some of the structural steel and decking for the auxiliary gym. That's all I have on those three projects. George Elementary, the state got back to us yesterday with their comments on our plans. They had three comments. So we got with the Corps architect, and we got those answered today back to the state, so she plans on approving that project this week. So that did push back our bid date to February 15th. But that is a big stepping stone for us, is to get that approval. And the south driveway at Don Tyson School of Innovation is complete. We've got that finished up with Baldwin and Shell. So now we'll be able to put in speed tables and signage and get that totally done. We're working on the district hail damage. We put out an RFQ, it run in the paper. So those are due back February 13th at 2 o'clock. We're going to open those up at Core Architects business. And then we'll start the selection process to get down to the construction manager for that project. And that project, it includes about 20 campuses that need roof repairs. Some's more major than others. And then the start date on that will be May of 23 and a completion of August of 24. And then as
Off our money from the insurance company?
we have on the tornado damage, and then the insurance will be involved in this RFQ, as we select a CM. Once that selection happens, I think that's set for the 20th for us to make the final selection for the CM, and then we'll give them 2 weeks. So they'll go to every site that's had damage, and they will take their own measurements, core sample the roofs, everything they need to provide a bid. And then we'll have a time we can negotiate with the insurance and the CM, and then we have verified with the insurance company. You can't see every part of the roof, even taking core samples and stuff. So if there is damage, once we take the roof off to replace the new and find saturated insulation or whatever it is, the insurance willing to make adjustments on that. So this project, they will be involved in all the processes on the CMs we pick through the whole process.
They paid us virtually all of it, but there's a holdback until we.
Right, yeah.
So that's really it. I mean, last week, all we did, we put out salt, we plowed, and then we started it all over again. That's what we did for the week. Later in the week, we shoveled sidewalks, getting ready, hoping we could have school on Friday. We continually monitor HVAC in the schools to help not have any damage. And then all week, just drove all the roads, bus routes, to try to get all the information to Dr. Cleveland so we can make the
Early
bid.
morning starts, didn't we?
We had some early morning talks. Yeah. So, it was a busy week, but we did get a lot of progress done on construction and on the buildings. Do you guys have any questions?
What kind of responses are you having with the people that are responding to CM? Are you having a lot of?
We've had a lot of CMs reach out and take the RFQ packet. So there's a lot of interest in this job. It's not going to be an easy job. Some of them picked up the packet and called me, wanted a meeting, came into my office and said, "Look, it's more than we wanted." They're having the same issues we are. They're down on manpower. They have a lot of them have a lot of jobs already going. So, this job's not easy because it is 20 different campuses, and it's spread out. It's not all in one spot. And, a lot of it's not just one type of roof material. There's standing seam metal, there's modified bitumen, there's residential shingles. We've got some awnings that were damaged. So there's a lot of different contractors that'll be involved. So it'll be a pretty big job to supervise it and make sure we can meet those timelines. And the insurance they want to get it done as quick as possible. They want to get it done in less than a year. They wanted us to get it done before next summer, but with that many schools, and a lot of the summer school, we're going to have to pick and set our schedule where hopefully we can get material and get about half of them done this summer, and then we'll switch summer school next summer and do the ones we need. And there are a few support buildings that we can work around. You know, we're not really we can do them anytime. So we'll work through that once the construction manager goes through and sees all the properties. Okay, all right,
Thanks a lot.
thanks.